let's pan over to our winners finals of tonight. Strong Bad versus Captain Birdman. So Captain Birdman was the guy who sent you to losers initially, and he has a plethora of bird-based characters, primarily known for that DDD. And Strong Bad, of course, known and loved for that Wario, loathed by some because of his proficiency with it. But explain this matchup for me. I want to go to your YouTube channel and hear you just frame this for me ever so perfectly.
Right. So a lot of this matchup is going to be similar to like the Wario versus Bowser, which we saw earlier today. It's going to be Wario trying to get in on DDD's range, and since he's such a big target, it's going to be really easy for those sort of combos. It's very hard to miss a bite against DDD, especially with the air control that Wario has with his neutral B, and he's going to get really big combos off of it since he's such a fast faller, so heavy. He doesn't get sent very far by the throws from the bite itself.
True, and it can be sometimes a bit difficult to actually get that initial hit in because, like you said, DDD has so much range. On top of that, Captain Birdman, he doesn't need much when it comes to edge guarding. A couple of well-placed bears. Strong Bad was in a really rough position and didn't have enough in the tank to make it back.
Yeah, Wario's recovery, not the best recovery, especially against a character like DDD, who's very, very good at putting the hitboxes right where he needs them to be. Swinging huge arcs with the forward air, putting out the really persistent back air.
Well, that shoulder charge was exactly where it needed to be, but still not enough. That time, though, reaching a bit, and Birdman able to capitalize that touch. Strong Bad, I love the shield drop up air. Excellent sequence to go and take that stock.
Yeah, that sort of up smash is usually really, really difficult to punish just because it has so much shield stun, but being able to shield drop like that, just to go directly below, that will do the trick.
The immediate Gordo as well from Birdman.
Yeah.
Definitely putting on a lot of damage, but like we saw at the beginning of this game, all Strong Bad needs is an opening, and he can put on some nice damage himself.
Yeah, putting on a little pressure with the down air. It's very difficult to say how exactly if that's punishable or not punishable, since Wario has a lot of options he has after bouncing off your shield like that, but generally difficult to punish. What a really good confirm off the tech chase down tilt.
Man, the second half of that last stock by Strong Bad was just so perfect. I loved his platform movement to set up for that initial hit, and the way that he followed up after that opening was just beautiful. Another huge punish here from Strong Bad, getting the bite yet again into the shoulder bash.
That was a 0 to death, 106 damage.
And I feel like Birdman was DIing away because he just wanted to get away, and so that shoulder bash option, that finisher was just so efficient in ending that stock.
Yeah, see if he can pull another one off. This is definitely one thing Wario is good at, like we mentioned. Oh, it doesn't quite get the mix-up on the bite. The interesting to note is he does have to, similar to like the Sheik Marth forward throw, down throw, or down throw, back throw in Sheik's case, you have to mix up where exactly you think your opponent's going to DI for the bite to get the optimal follow-up. And so there's a little bit of room to wiggle out of it if you can get a read on which throw exactly your opposing warrior is going to do.
Strong Bad connecting another shoulder bash, but look at that range from DDD. Captain Birdman using that fair to make it back on stage temporarily. How long is he going to be able to maintain the stage control?
Yeah, this is going to be a really bad position. His back gets to the ledge, so he has to up B to grab the ledge, and that forward tilt will clip him out of it.
Doesn't even need that fair follow-up, but Birdman goes for it anyway. Knocks him out of the park, and Strong Bad immediately answers back. Up air into waft. Fantastic finish from Strong Bad.
Yeah, very efficient use of the waft itself. Very, very important aspect of Wario's play, being able to turn random conversions into kills. But you have to land it. If you miss with it, it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. And his waft conservation was really good as well. I thought for a second when we looked at that first stock, whenever Birdman got that bear, we might see a bit of like a mid-range waft being utilized to help with the recovery. But Strong Bad instead saves it in the tank, and he's able to answer back on the second stock, actually, because he takes the first stock relatively quickly, and the second stock, I think, is finished with the waft. So waft management, is that what we say?
Yeah, I guess that's the proper use of it. Yeah, he did do an extremely good job of finishing DDD at relatively lowest percent. DDD character not unaccustomed to surviving into the high hundreds, even 200%, depending on who you're playing against, and I don't think he lived past 150.
Oh, man. Those strong surprise finishers were a really big thing as well. You know, you had so many moments when Birdman would try to just DI away and hold on for dear life, and Strong Bad said, okay, this is the perfect time for me to land this shoulder bash.
Now I'm going to kill you. Oh, getting disrupted by the Waddle Dee a little bit. That is one of the reasons why this stage is so good for DDD, is because he has that right there, the full hop downward angle waddle throw. Because it doesn't have too much end lag on it. If it does actually hit, it sends your opponent up. You can get some conversion off of it. And even if it doesn't hit, then the Waddle Dee's on the ground, and then you can use it to set up Waddle Dashes.
A really smart counter pick coming from Birdman. And even there, the Waddle Dee Secret Serviceman just got promoted.
Taking one for the team.
He's not going to be home for dinner with his wife anytime soon, but still, again, coming in play, shutting down these shoulder bashes from Strong Bad.
Yep. Birdman doing a good job hanging out of the stock this time. Gonna look for the up air. Nope, doesn't quite get it, but that back air will seal it.
Was that like almost like a bit of an option select?
A bit, yeah. Since he covered both the feint or the pulling back, would have been hard for him to get around it.
Now this is what we really want to see from Strong Bad to get back into this game. He has that waft on deck. It's going to be a matter of when he really chooses to use it. But Birdman right now being very daunting as Strong Bad is struggling a bit to recover. He finally makes it back on stage, only to face the foot again, forced to jump, and he's caught in the perfect position for Captain Birdman to land that forward air.
Very fortunate, Gordo. Oh, he's going to get a lot of damage. Nope, not quite. Against a lot of characters, DDD can get that up throw to up air, that low percent. But since Wario's so floaty, so heavy, he will be able to jump out of that in time. It'll be interesting to see if... ooh, okay. Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see whether or not, if Captain Birdman switches to down throws instead, or if he starts going for evading the double jump.
Definitely a lot to consider here. Birdman, he's really starting to pad his lead a bit. Strong Bad approaching those triple digits, but all Strong Bad really needs is to figure out some kind of an opening. But what is it in this game that's making it so much more difficult for him to find those openings? Is it the Waddle Dees?
It's partially the Waddle Dees. It's just the room that I think DDD has to move around. Since the stage is a little bit bigger, he's also surviving a little bit longer, like we saw in the last two stocks, really. But yeah, so that'll make it so he has more opportunities just in the long run to actively fight back against his opponent. Hope doesn't quite get the bite follow-up. That was pretty important. Ooh. Oh, yeah, and bad side B will get him killed.
I'm liking the decision-making from Captain Birdman. I guess less decision-making, but calm under fire more than anything else. Because he's been in these situations where he's off stage, and we've seen two reversals so far where he took a very unfavorable position and was actually able to turn it around and make it the demise of one of Strong Bad's stocks.
Yeah, DDD is definitely a character that can do that since he has so much mobility in the air, so much air control with his huge up B, many multi-jumps. Super good forward air and back air.
Well, Strong Bad evening up the stock count. Are we going to be ending things at Game 2, or is this going to Game 3?
He does have that waft on deck, so one really good combo into it could potentially end the DDD stock. He might have to use it to recover here, though. Oh, chooses to save it, and that is the end of his stock.
Really clean Edgehog there. But let's go into the mind of Strong Bad. Where do you think he's going to be taking him?
So I think he's going to try to go to a stage with a lower ceiling, because that's the way that he will generally be killing DDD, with like clap with the down B. Like back air he got some kills with, but I mean that's going to be near the ledge anyways, so it doesn't particularly matter the sides of the stages themselves, the side blast zones. So yeah, I think this is a really good pick.
I think that how do you feel about the Waddle Dee presence on the stage? Do you think it's going to be mitigated by some of these platforms?
Mitigated a little bit. He still does have that big open middle, so he still can set up like the full hop Waddle Dees at around platform, which is actually a pretty good position for DDD because he'll be dropping onto that platform a lot with down air as like coming from the ledge to invade on stage. Because you see early on Birdman in earlier sets today landing down air onto the platform and then dropping through neutral air, and that gets follow-ups afterwards, which is huge damage.
Lots of potential really for both of these characters as we go into game number 3. Strong Bad has a pretty solid lead, but like we saw in that last game, Birdman doesn't need much. As far as raw hits goes, he could probably dismantle Strong Bad in as little as 3 if he has the stage positioning to do so.
Yeah, just have to get him off stage and land a back air, forward air. Oh, good patience from Strong Bad, but doesn't quite get the punish on the whiff.
Nice, and he's
Birdman missing the pun. That side B is actually really punishable on shield. Like you can shield it and then drop shield and just do whatever you want.
And he perfect shielded it no less. It wasn't even a standard shield. He had plenty of time in the world, but just maybe a
little awkward, yeah. Both characters going to be looking for kills now. Is that going to finish it? That will finish it, okay.
Puts just enough charge on that to make that throw very potent.
Oh, not a sweet spot. See how much time he had to set up that forward air? The wild throws are a little bit nuts. It's extremely good.
And man, those waddle dashes making it so tricky. Controlling center whenever those waddle dees are around is going to be so difficult because Birdman has that burst movement available.
Okay. Really good drift on the neutral B to get the follow-up.
Yeah.
Oh, up throw to neutral B. Going to be huge damage.
Drops it a little bit early though, expecting a bit more finishing off with the waft, but this might be the waft setup that he needed. That was excellent.
Yeah, using the downer to set that up. Okay, here we go.
Another big bite for Strong Bad and some big damage. Birdman nearly at 60 from a single opening. Strong Bad's punish game, it's so formidable, especially on these large characters.
Absolutely, yes. And Wario's damage output can get pretty good.
Well, that's finally punishing, and the falling bear. Strong Bad's had a hard time when it comes to sweet spotting the ledge, but that also deals with just how far he's been getting knocked back. Is that a DI issue, or?
Partially. Like right there, he actually upbeat a little bit early, because to actually sweet spot the ledge, he would have had to fall down a little bit, and there was a nice spiky Gordo down there waiting for him. So.
This is true.
So that right there was a little bit of disruption from Birdman. Some of it has been a little bit of flubs. But,
this has been a recurring theme of sorts when it comes to Birdman. He's really good at using some of those Waldies and Gordos to cut off some of the mix-ups you have on recovery and making your options very limited.
Yeah, very good way to set it up. If DDD is not in the position where he can be setting up his forward air or back air, he can instead be utilizing the Waddle Ds to cut off options.
He's throwing so many Gordos. Good lord. It's like if Armada picked up D3, man. It's ridiculous.
Okay, good job punishing the full hop down air.
And that's it.
Didn't send him the right way, but still enough to do the trick.
Birdman put up quite the fight, though. He certainly put up quite the fight, but I think that Strong Bad's punish game was just far too formidable.
Damage output was intense.
And Birdman had some moments, especially in that second game, whenever it came to the edge play. But I think because, like we're playing on a stage like Pokemon Stadium 2, which is so wide, it can be really difficult for Birdman to be able to get those moments, right, where he can consistently knock Strong Bad off stage. He had a couple, but not nearly as much, I feel, in some of the previous games.
Yeah, the platforms, the layout gave him really good mid-stage control, but mid-stage isn't where DDD kills people. He kills people at the edge, like with back throws, with back airs, forward airs, waddles, off stage. And so yeah, I think that was a pretty good pick by Strong Bad.